The biggest challenge for us is to try and get share of mind of the public. CUA only has 0.8% of the market share, and obviously we don't have the same depth of pockets to sort of do the advertising and get our name out there. We're a really good alternative for financial services, and so how we actually get the public to know about us is one of our biggest challenges. The other one that comes to mind is the fact that we're constrained by capital. We're member-owned, so we can't just issue shares or instruments at this stage. And so the only way we can grow our capital is by retained earnings. It was encouraging to see the Senate inquiry that was released today that into mutuals, basically recommending that there should be a number of instruments available to mutuals, not just financial mutuals, but all mutuals in Australia. So that's a pleasing development, but let's see how that goes. Yeah, look, I think the biggest one for us is member satisfaction. I mean, the whole history of mutuals has been around helping each other. And I think over the years, that type of essence of what mutuals is all about has sort of lost its way a bit. We do know from our research that there is about 2.5 million people in Australia alone that are quite open to the idea that they don't have to do their banking with the major fours, and they'd be quite happy to look at alternatives. So for us, how you get into that 2.5 million, that's a magnificent opportunity. I think a second opportunity for us is the fact that we are small. We're only 950 people. So we know very well that we can't do things ourselves, and we have to have a core competency of leveraging third parties. And I think that is an opportunity to help us sort of move more into the digital environment that we see the world going, that you're actually not worried about you building it up yourself. You can actually utilise third parties. Look, the way the world's going in retail generally is your ability to personalise to individuals. So I think people that have got a very strong customer centricity, that can really understand the customer and have a real focus on saying, whatever we do, it's got to be about the customer as a core to their DNA is something that I think is required in the future. I think authenticity, I know it's an easy thing to say, but in the mutual environment, we pride ourselves on our values, and so your yes is yes, your no is a no. Look, I'm sorry we got that wrong, and being able to speak like that with authenticity, I think, is a wonderful skill to have. And the third one that I really like is curiosity. The world is changing all the time, and I think the idea that we just sit there and we're happy with where we're at is actually going to probably be the death knell. The idea that we've got 950 staff thinking, well, what about this, what about that, I think augurs well for our organisation to the future. Look, I think in a way, the ability to live your purpose, if I can get 950 people just oozing out their purpose. When I was speaking to one of our board members about our forthcoming purpose that we've just built, ground up with all our staff, it's taken 5 months. He said, if you can do one thing and you can convince me that your staff show the purpose as well as what I experienced when I went to Nationwide in the UK, you're there. So I think if that's one thing that we can achieve, I think that's great. I think another one that sort of is closely aligned to that is respect. And respect is earned. We've been around for 70 years, and I think if we continue to do things correctly and we're seen by the public as someone that's actually there for their interests, which is what member-owned organisations are all about, and we do that consistently, our respect should go up, and a result of that would be our member satisfaction. But I think the first thing is that we will attract people that are attracted by our purpose. And if they can see and feel that actually I've got to sign up to this, or there's no point in actually joining. There's an organisation in Vancouver called Van City. They actually put people through a 2 to 3 week induction period, and if you can't sign that at the end of it, you might as well go, don't bother joining. And I think that actually will augur well, particularly with the younger generation. I think they are looking for a place that I can actually sort of align myself from a values perspective. We also have internal programs around talent management, around graduate programs, women in leadership, that I think are pretty good programs, but they could do with a decent push along as well. And I think the third thing that we should be doing a lot more of, and we do a little bit of it, but I think self-development. And I'll give you one example. One of our senior ladies, she's never actually got a degree. And the fact that she's going to Stanford this year actually will give her a lot of self-confidence to do her job even better. So I think we should be doing a lot more of that.